Hi fellow crafters, welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Stacy from Dies to Die For and Shop Scrapbook 101. Today we'll be making a card for you using our brand new telephone and tablet die. We'll be making the Miss You Like toilet paper and change. Here's the items that we'll be using on today's card. You're going to want a pair of good scissors, maybe even microtip scissors. The Want to Scrap adhesive, I really love this stuff. Just roll a piece on and tear it off, really easy to use. Simon Hurley Wolf ink pad, a fine line glue, a black pen or black marker, whatever brand you prefer, our tablet and telephone die, That's Crappy and toilet paper word die, and the trapezoid, basic trapezoids. And then if you purchase the kit from us, it'll come with all your pieces cut to the size that you need them for the dies. And I cut out a few extra pieces because these ampersands came off of the family bonus words, and the things you're going to use for change came out of the center of the tractor tires, and I didn't think you needed to buy 2 extra dies just for those little pieces, so I already ran them through adhesive and included those in your kit for you. And then you have your patterned paper. This is actually a Fab Scraps Fluor paper, which we sell on our website. If you like it, you can go on there and buy more of it. And then all these pieces, and I'll explain to you what these pieces are for while we're making the cards. And also your Tim Holtz blending ink tool. Now that we have our pieces all together, let me show you something about the dies real quick. This trapezoid die, you're going to want the third piece out of it, so you're going to want to take them apart. And if you've never used our dies before, our dies are only connected at 2 points, so you can take each corner and just go back and forth until it breaks apart. Do that on the third die and then do it on the inside pieces, so you're just left with that third piece. And then for this die set, you're going to have to take a lot of that apart, because if you leave those in there, you won't get a solid screen, and that's what you want. And when you use this later on, you'll want to be able to have a solid screen. So these pieces have to come out of the center of here, and then these I just left connected to the cell phone part, because I like to leave my dies connected, otherwise I lose them. But that way the screens are clear. The That's Crappy word, I just leave this all together. And if I just want to cut one piece, like the toilet paper piece, I will just cut my paper small and put it over just that piece and roll it through. So now that you have your dies all taken apart, for those of you that purchased the kit with dies, let's start our first step. Take your card base, which you will get like this. It's an A2 size, so it's a 5.5 by 4.25. Just fold it in half. And every kit should have 2 of these in it. You have enough in each kit to make 2 cards. So right now we're only making 1 card, you only need 1. Fold that in half. Then your background paper, which is the Fab Scrap Fluor. Put the adhesive on the back. And I'm using Want to Scrap adhesive because I love her adhesive. It holds really well. Just going to show you how to use it real quick. You just put it down, tear it off, and you peel the edge up. And I've already done the rest of the card, so you take it and put it down on your base. And I always use a white card base instead of like this pattern paper. Pattern paper is more expensive than white. So I cut my pattern paper to an A2 size, 4.25 by 5.5. That way I can put it on a white base and not waste so much pattern paper. You can just cut your base out of this paper if you'd like, if that's what you prefer to, but that I just can't waste the paper. Okay, the next step is, like I said, each kit contains enough to make 2 cards. You're going to make 2 cards in opposite colors. So you would have 3 pieces of this purple, dark purple, and 3 pieces of the light purple. For our purposes today, just choose one of the 2 colors. I'm going to choose to go with the light purple in the background. So I'm going to put my dark purple, my 3 dark purple pieces aside. And those are the 5-inch long pieces. I already put adhesive on the back. But before we lay these down, we're going to ink them really quick. Simon Hurley Wolf ink pad. And you can either go around it with the ink pad, if that's what you're comfortable doing, or you can take your ink blending tool and go around the edges. It gives almost the same effect. It's just a little bit lighter using the Tim Holtz. Okay, set that aside. Now we're gonna take our basic trapezoid, sorry, forgot what they were called for a minute. Basic trapezoid. Put them on here. I do not measure. You can measure if you want. I did measure my first card for you guys, and it's an 1/8 of an inch. I put that up a little too far. It's an 1/8 of an inch from the bottom to this piece, and the top piece is also the same, just an 1/8 of an inch. And then you flip this piece around, and between here and here is 3/4 of an inch, just in case you're the person that wants to measure. I don't, because I just wind up getting frustrated, and then what fun is card making? So just kind of eyeball it. If it's a little bit off, sometimes you can peel it back up and move it up if you want. But all right, then these go over the card. You're just going to cut the edges off to make it flush. Then don't forget to go back and ink those edges that you just cut off real quick, so that they match everything else. There, you can even put some ink on the card base if you want. We'll add some ink. Okay, now our toilet paper rolls. Each of you should have 6 pieces of this. We're only going to need 3 for each card. So for this card, you're going to take 3 of these and cut out 3 of the toilet paper rolls on the That's Crappy title. And then you also should have some little scrap pieces of brown and white. To save time while you're cutting, I just cut out the empty toilet paper roll that's on the That's Crappy, 1 in brown and 1 in white, because you're going to need those later. Just cut them out and set them aside. And don't forget to cut out your toilet paper rolls. I already have mine pre-cut. I also took a little scrap of that brown paper and cut it and put it on the back so it shows through like it's a toilet paper roll in there. I already put adhesive on the back of these, and it doesn't look like I put my little brown piece on here, so let me add this on quick. Just use your scissors and cut off a little brown piece. I think I included enough extra brown and white pieces in everyone's kit to make 20 cards, I think. Okay. Oh, before you put your adhesive on the back, you need 2 of the toilet paper rolls go this way and 1 goes this way. So make sure you put the adhesive on the right side of the one that you're turning upside down. I'll take my toilet paper rolls and put them down. And these I also took the Simon Hurley ink and went around just to distress it a little bit. Okay. And that doesn't go right up to the edge, just close. Then once you get it down, take your little ink pen and just fill in those little dots, makes them show up a little bit more. You can also use a light gray too. I use that on the first card. Today I'm using black. There's that step. Then next, we're gonna make our telephone pieces. So again, you'll have one light color and one dark color in this kit. Choose the color that's opposite what you already chose for the trapezoids. Why can't I remember that name? Should have named them something easier, I guess. So I'm going to use the dark because I use the light in the background. Then we have a little cell phone like that. To make this guy, the background piece, you're just going to take a piece of gray and 2 pieces of white, stack the white on top, then these pieces go down on the die like that. The reason you're doing this is you're trying to get that third layer not to cut all the way through, just to leave the impression a little bit. So when they come out, they will look something like this with 2 white pieces. You just take these, use them on a different project. This, hopefully it won't be cut through all the way. Sometimes it does, but that just makes your background for your cell phone. Okay, I need to make my purple cell phone, my dark purple. Just take that and run it through. And then on the back of these, the gray piece, I did put pop tape, foam tape, again, from Want to Scrap. And I use the black. I think on my sample I use the white. Doesn't really matter, you can't really see it that well. While my assistant son is cutting my cell phone out for me, I'm going to take the adhesive off the back of this. There we go. That edge didn't want to come up. We'll line it up somewhere in the center, or wherever it's comfortable for you. Actually, I want to put mine on an angle today. That just seems like fun. There we go. Okay, and then we have our purple cell phone piece, and you see that makes a perfect background for it. It fills the button in. But we're going to put a little adhesive on the back of this using the fine line glue. Dab it off a little bit so glue doesn't get everywhere. Put your little cell phone right on there. Okay. Next step is to take your quote bubbles. You should have cut out one of the larger quote bubbles and one of the medium size with just the white scrap paper. Then here's your toilet paper rolls from earlier. Anybody who purchased the kit already got the pieces of change and the ampersands in 2 colors again, in your kit, and I already had them with adhesive on the back. I chose to cut those out for you, for those of you who bought the dies instead of including the dies, because why should you have to buy a die for one little piece? So the quarters and the pennies came from the tires of the lawn tractor, and the ampersand came from the family bonus add-on words, just in case you were wondering where they came from. Let's put our accessories on our cell phone here. And on my original card, I inked these a little. I don't feel like inking them today. I have a really hard time making the same card more than once, so I like to change it up. Same goes for you. If you want to change your card, it's your card. You change anything about it. You don't have to make it the same way that I do. Put your 2 little quote bubbles on there. And we'll take our miss you word, put some more fine line glue on it. And this, for these little tiny words, is where I like to use my reverse action tweezers. Makes a little bit less of a mess. Dab it off a little. Lay it right down on the top quote bubble. Then, for this like, on my original card, I pieced all these together. I cut the LOL out in black and I cut the L off. I cut another miss you and I cut the I out. The K and the E I made from piecing different letters together. Like the E is 2 L's and then an L for a centerpiece. The K was an I in the center of an M. That's really difficult to do. If you don't want to do that, don't do that. As you can see, I already lost my K and I'm not remaking it. So on this card, I'm just going to write it on there. A whole lot easier. I think someday I'm going to have to do an add-on for these to add the word like. And I hate my handwriting, so I usually do not write, but you could print it out on the printer also, or if you have a small stamp set, stamp it. The possibilities are endless. Okay, now we're gonna take our 2 toilet papers, the brown and the white that you cut out earlier, and cut along the lines to cut the white sheet of toilet paper off. Then you're going to place it on your brown toilet paper roll to make an empty toilet paper roll. Take that off there and place it somewhere on the bottom of your card. And looking for my ampersand. Not quite sure where it went right now. So guess what? We will just cut another one real quick. Oh, no, my son found it. He saved the day. These little pieces just fly away everywhere. If you don't have a teenager, I recommend you get one. They keep track of you. Okay, we put our ampersand on there. And then our little change. Some of your kits have 2 quarters and a penny for each card, and some have 2 pennies and a quarter. That's just because I lost track. Somewhere I got it changed around where there was supposed to be only 1 quarter and 2 pennies, and so if you have that, just put it on there the opposite here. Kind of like I did on this card. There's a quarter and 2 pennies. And if you have the lighter gray quarter, just trace around it with the black to make it show up a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to take my black pen again and just write on there very fine, 25 cents. A penny. And then I can dot the little toilet paper. And there's your card. Now you have pieces left to do another card. Just do it the same way or mix it up. Use the pieces and make a different card, whatever you want. Thanks for joining us for our Miss You Like Toilet Paper and Change Craft Along Kit. These kits can still be purchased on our website through the month of August 2020. You can either purchase the pre-cut kit that will have all the pre-cut pieces with adhesive on the back enough to make 2 cards, or you can purchase the kit with the 3 dies in it, the basic trapezoid, the telephone, and the that's crappy word. And then it will also come with pre-cut pieces of paper that are just big enough to make your project. Check those out, and while you're there, don't forget to check out our items of the week. We have the Tim Holtz mini alcohol ink applicators, the refills, and then also a fine line glue. And you can save 5% on those items through August 5th using code DANDYLION. Our dies are also on sale 20% off through August 5th. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. When you're subscribing, if you want to get notifications, ring the bell. Thank you.